Okay.
Hello, my dear ladies, sisters. This evening, 22nd of January, we have our third interview, and this time we connect with Sara Pace or Lalit from Italy, from a place that is very dear to my heart, Florence, a place of art and history. Hello, Sara. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you to you.
Thank you for
Thank you very much.
accepting this invitation to be with us for 45 minutes. And she defines herself as a visionary and a deep seeker. She likes to go into and search into the depth of the things, and transformative both. And before I will start to ask questions about you and your relationship with the feminine, you can also speak by yourself and tell a little bit about you, who you are, what is your work and contribution to the raising of the feminine nowadays.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Irina, for your invitation. I'm very happy to see you and to speak with you and to speak with all sisters of the world, if it is possible.
Not with all, with some of them, maybe. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I'm Sara. I'm living now in Florence, but I was born in Abruzzo, in the south of Italy. Do you know?
Non ho visitato, I didn't visit, sorry, she is Italian and I speak Italian. I didn't visit it, but one day
Very
maybe.
well.
Yeah. I know it's a nice place. Yeah.
Yes, it's a region very strong and very gentle with mountains and the sea. Then at the age of 18 years, I was arrived in Florence to study at the university, and then I'm here again. I lived in other part of Europe, but I love so much Florence and the energy of this town. So I want to remain here, like the place, the main place where I stay, where I live. Since I was a child, I began to read tarots. This is my first study. This is my passion. This is my. They are and then I began to study astrology, even at the age of the primary school.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Very early in your age. I started much later and I did not finish yet.
No. It's a very it's a study very deep, very with a lot of things to see, to learn. So I can stay there to study every day for all my life. I think it's impossible to finish.
I know.
Yes. Then I began to read tarots to other people, and now it is my profession. Is the main job I have. I work with children or with women of the third age to with art therapy, because I'm an art therapist too. Yes.
Beautiful, yes. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very,
yes.
Very good tool to work on many levels with art.
Mm, yes. Then I think that tarots and art use the same language. So,
It is the language of the archetypes that are in our
mm,
psyche. So yeah, a strong
mm,
bond. Mm. I know you
yes.
also have a group on Facebook, because I think I'm part of this group also, of women, Pachamama, if I'm not wrong. Do you
Yes,
want to speak
yes.
a little bit about it?
So when it was my last birthday at March, I did capanna sudatoria. I don't know in English. How can we say temazcal?
Ah, Temazcal, Sweat Lodge. Sweat Lodge.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is an ancient tradition of Native Americans.
Yes,
And I did this experience with a group of women. We
yes.
are all women. And when we finished, I arrived in my house, and I said, "No, I have to do something else for women." So I opened this group, Pachamama, in
Mm-hmm.
honor with the tradition that I did, that I knew for that experience. And so there, all women can post, can share their events, their activities for art, holistic activities, magic, and so on. But I had other experiences with feminine, with a group of only women in Tuscany, above all, but even other parts of Italy. We did shamanic activities, tarots, meditation. Then we were in places in Tuscany, among mountains and rivers. So we had a big contact, a strong contact with nature.
Nature. Yeah.
Yes, animals and bugs,
Well, yeah.
everything.
This is beautiful. I also did several times temazcali or sweat lodge, and actually it's a very powerful tool to purify, detoxify the body,
Mm,
but it's also for the soul, because you can heal through this breathing through your pores of the skin. You can release a lot of energies that you don't need. So actually something that when I speak about shamanistic practice, because I'm also doing now a training in this, is a practice that I recommend that should be done at least once or twice a year, just
mhm.
to get a big shot of desintoxication fully from the body.
Wow.
You
Yes.
told me that you have a spiritual name, and actually is a name that has a very powerful meaning for me also, and very high resonance for women in general at a mythological and archetypal level. And this is Lilith. Could you
Yes.
speak more about why you chose this Lilith, a spiritual name, and what does it mean for you?
Okay. Yes, of course. Lilith, I knew the figure of Lilith when I was 20 years old, more or less. Um, and I was in love for her because for her spirit, rebel spirit above all, because she was so brave to cut a dynamic, a relation, a toxic relation with a man that in that case was Adam.
Madam. Luckily him that
Not
she did not cut something else, you know,
uh,
only the relation.
I hope for Adam.
Yeah, just a joke.
Yes,
Not a very nice one, but it just came. So what
but
happened
she
after this?
and so I began to try to understand who she was, because it's not so simple to find true documents, true books that speak about her. She's a figure that is seen as bad, as not so simple to understand, not to take away, to take far. But for me, instead, is a part very important of the feminine energy. Is the rebellion, is the freedom, is freedom for me.
The wild
Uh,
feminine, the wild
yeah,
wilderness.
yes, yes. And some months ago, I've read these books. This book, I don't know if you can see it.
I misteri della luna oscura, i poteri di guarigione della dea oscura, Demetra George. Is your book?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, it's
The
very good.
mystery,
And
I will
here,
translate the title in English, The Mysteries of the
yes,
Obscure Moon, right? Yeah,
yes, yes,
very nice.
yes.
Beautiful.
And there, I've read something about Lilith that is true for me, because she says that she comes from ancient goddess of the part of Medio Oriente.
Middle East.
Yes, I don't
Middle
remember in
East.
English, sorry.
It's Middle
um,
East, yeah.
Thank you. And she was the goddess of the wind.
Hmm.
She was linked with air and with the nature, with freedom. So, because of patriarchy, can't admit, can't accept the freedom of women, they have transformed her in a bad goddess, in a goddess that brings obscurity, fear, and so on. Instead, she was very strong, independent, with self-power, very
Self-esteem also, a lot of self-esteem, I suppose.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I think that it's important to develop this part of feminine from when you was a child, you were a child, and when you grow up for teenager, for children, and so on. I think it's very important to know her and to develop her.
Yeah. I had once this explanation about the meaning of Lilith, also in spiritual archetypal terms from another astrologer. I already told you about it, but I wish to mention it here because for me it was really wow. It's very powerful. And he said that Lilith represents the myth of the division or the split between the matriarchy and patriarchy. So when the patriarchy took over as a, let's say, a kind of mindset or regime in the whole world, Lilith represented this the end of matriarchy somehow, and that's why probably she was depicted in books or in the collective imagination as something negative, because she was too rebellious, too free, too powerful, and the patriarchate would fear her as an image of the feminine. Very, very interesting. There are many things, but it's interesting that you say that you published a book, because this for who is in Italy, I think it can be found easily there, and might be interesting to read it. And yeah,
Yes.
a lot of interesting things around this topic. You said that you work with children, that you work through art therapy. What do you think that the young girls that we have today, the young generations, would need to learn about femininity? What is femininity? What do you think?
Wow, very interesting answer. um, I have a daughter too. She's 15 years old, and I think that I can answer with the kind, the choice of education I did to her. I teached to her to not stay in the in the stereotypes of feminine or masculine too. She was very wild. She was very strong. She did all the things that men did, but at the same time, I teach to her to cry, to nourish her emotions. I think, and when I speak with her friends, she has a lot of teenager friends. I said to them to try to enter in contact with themselves, because I think it is one of the important things to do, to live well and to stay, to try to stay well in this society, in this reality, and try to listen to themselves, their emotions, their feelings, and this is very important for me. And
Yeah.
and to try to give water, to give nourishment to their dreams or what they love, uh, to what to what they love, to try to give more time is possible to their passions.
This is very important, connection with feelings and emotions,
Mm.
because
Mm.
many young people arrive at the adult age completely disconnected and with fear
Mm.
in connecting, and that creates a lot of blockages, and sometimes of course there are traumas and other issues from childhood that lead to this, or even not good communication with parents or some like that.
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah, it's very, very important.
Mm.
You also spoke about the fact that you like to be free and not be attached to any label in terms of spiritual practices, right? And but you say that it's very important for you, the connection and the devotion that you have for the goddess. And
Yes.
here I want to ask another question. What actually means the goddess for you? Because I received this question on Saturday when I presented the documentary. I don't know if you saw my documentary, the one I made with a friend from Portugal, the one on circles of women. If you didn't see it, I will send it to you by link. Maybe you can disseminate it in your group on Pachamama, because it's very interesting. It speaks about a lot of things around the meaning of circles of women and goddess and everything. And one of the people attending to this presentation, we had around 30 people in the public. We did it in as a public event, the presentation of the documentary in bibliothèque here in Oslo. She asked me what actually means the goddess. I mean, she knows already because she's also one of the participants in the circles, and she's very much into spirituality. And I was a little bit, like, I didn't think that I would receive this question, so was not prepared to answer. And it's not that I didn't find an answer, but at the beginning I felt a little bit like, yeah, right. What is God? What is goddess? What it actually means? So would you be able to answer?
Uh, Actually, it's not simple to answer.
I know.
Because I think there is an intellectual part. I mean, all the lines of studies, researches, all the books, archaeology, symbology, magic, holistic, and so on, that are about the goddess. We have, for example, Maria Gimbutas, Vicky Noble, Max Dashu, all these names that are of women that began to bring the goddess to the real world from the hidden world, because she has been hidden. And then I think there is a part that is the feeling, what you can feel discovering this part of our history or her story that we didn't know. And so this second part of the goddess, it's difficult to describe, because you have to live. I think you should live to understand. I feel the goddess when I was in a circle of women, or when I am in the nature. I can call her even as the universe, because for me, when I pray the universe, I pray the goddess, I pray this energy of love and very powerful,
So
where we can.
yes.
Sorry.
No. You can continue. I thought that you finished. Sorry.
No. This energy that you can touch, that you can feel, that you can listen, that you can see. I think it's very beautiful. It's very deep experience to do. And then there are actually all the books that we can read, we can study, and this part is very important too, because in this society where the mind is the most important part of the body that we use, is important to have books and research that are about the goddess, that speak about the goddess.
And how
I
do
have.
I know there are many books, and there are also actually studies in the history of religions and philosophy, spirituality, many books nowadays. But as you spoke about these feelings, feeling the goddess, so it's mainly about connection, right, with the energy of the goddess. So somehow this energy is present in the universe and around us and in other people. What do you think is important in terms of practice for this connection with the goddess? You as a woman, or if you would like to share this with other women, how do you actually connect? What is the mean or the tool that allows you to really connect on a very deep level to the goddess?
Ma the first thing I have in my mind is the nature, is the contact with the nature, with water, river, the sea. For me, the sea, for example, is perhaps the best tool to enter in contact with the goddess, with the universe, the sky, stars. These are things elements that we have every day around us, but a lot of times we don't give them an importance or consideration, the right consideration. So I think about nature, but even the contact with themselves, with our heart, I think is very important.
Do you connect with the moon, with the cycle of the moon also?
Yes, 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 of course, yes. I did every month a circle with other women. We can be in four women, and we do um, bagni di gong. I don't know, gong sounds.
Sound bath. Sound baths.
Mm,
Yes, you use the
yes.
gong. Very beautiful. With the full moon or the new
Yes.
moon? The full or the new moon?
We did. Can you see me?
Yes, I it stopped, but you can continue to speak.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Now I see you. Now I can see
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I see
Sorry.
you back. It was a little bit interrupted, but you can continue to speak.
Okay. Yes, we are in four. We did with full moon above all, but even with black moon or growing moon.
Mm.
I like Luna decrescente to descendant moon, I think in English, because she can wash, she can clean, she can purify. And so we did bath sound and meditation, visualizzazioni with other people, other groups. But even I have other circles of women with I did activities with Moon, or I do them alone too, by myself with groups. Yes, yes.
Beautiful. Yes, sound baths are very good to connect because
Mm.
it's vibration, is the sound connects you
Mm.
with everything around. Very
Yes.
beautiful.
Mm.
You also said that you are considering yourself a transformative bowl. Would you
Mm.
like to speak a little bit about this? What exactly it means for you and the feminine, or you and other women?
So, when I wrote that definition, I was thinking about my love relationship above all.
Yeah,
As
they are all transforming.
yes, yes. And because cioè, I was thinking about people before and after the relationship with me. And so I can see that there is a process of transformation that is slow but deep. It goes deep in the soul. When I do my work, I do even individual sessions with people. I see that they slowly change, transform themselves slowly, because I try to respect the rhythm of the people, of the person. I don't want to oblige them to do something, but piano piano, how we say in Italian, slowly they arrive to a change that is important, even if it is little, but actually it isn't a real little, it isn't a real small, it is important, an important step that they did.
Maybe sometimes they need several small steps to get into a bigger transformation or jump towards something
Mm.
bigger. It
Yes,
happens.
yes, yes.
If you would like to think, because you said you practice tarot since very young, right?
Yes.
So you know the archetypes and images and symbols very well already. If you would like to think to one archetype and the goddess in the tarot,
Hmm.
what would you choose?
Hmm. Wow.
You can also choose more than one,
So,
but give an example.
I'm thinking about the Empress, the number three, because she represents creative energy, feminine energy that creates. And then I can speak about the star, the number 17. That in the imagine you can see a woman naked. She is on the ground close to a river, and she has two brocche. I don't know
Yes, two
in
vases
English.
for taking
Brocche with
water.
water.
Yes, two
Ah,
cups or
two ways.
vases. Yeah.
Okay. Two cups. Yes, two cups. And she takes the water from the river, and she put it on the ground, or she put it in the river again.
Mm-hmm.
So she has on the head, over her head, 8 stars that can be a costellazione, or
Constellations.
that can be constellation, or that can be Sirius, or Venus, or polar star, stella polare.
Polar star. Yeah.
Yes. Um, then she is in connection, how you said some minutes ago. She's in connection with nature, with the earth, with the sky, with trees, the water. She has all the four elements around her, and she is in harmony. She knows that everything, she is what is out of her, and she is a mirror. And
Everything that is out is inside herself.
mm, yes, yes.
So this is actually what I'm trying to communicate also through this documentary I told you about, the Circles of Women. Because when
Mm,
they asked me what is the goddess, the first thing that came to my mind was is is me or any other woman who has this very deep connection to nature, but everything that she sees outside is already inside of her. So she doesn't need validation from outside because she is on her
mm,
own. She knows her ground, she knows where she stays in her life, she knows herself, she knows her power,
mm,
and she listens to the heart, right?
mm, mm, mm. Bello.
So each of us can be a goddess actually,
Mm,
but sometimes it takes years to get there to this point when we feel a goddess,
yes.
because we were conditioned to feel small, to not feel enough, to serve
Mm,
other people before we listen to what we need, to to close our eyes in front of injustice, or to accept submission like something normal. But the goddess is the opposite of all of this, because she knows how to be. She knows who she is, and does not need all these excuses to be herself,
mm,
right?
mm. Right, yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We are almost finishing our 45 minutes, but before we finish, I
Yes.
want to make you a small gift, and I have this book,
Wow.
How to Love. Yeah, it's a very interesting book
Mm,
because it has small quotes and some drawings from Thich Nhat Hanh, who is also a teacher of or
mm.
father of mindfulness, is considered. So I will do like you would do with your cards, I will do with the book, and just open, and I will read the message for you and also for who is listening, okay?
Wow, thank
And
you.
is it says like that: a deep thirst. In traduzione sarebbe una sete profonda. A deep
Ah,
thirst. Sometimes we feel empty. We feel a vacuum, a great lack of something. We don't know the cause. It's very vague. But that feeling of being empty inside is very strong. We expect and hope for something much better, so we'll feel less alone and less empty. The desire to understand ourselves and to understand life is a deep thirst. There's also the deep thirst to be loved and to love. We are ready to love and be loved. It's very natural. but because we feel empty, we try to find an object of our love. Sometimes we haven't had the time to understand ourselves, yet we've already found the object of our love. When we realize that all our hopes and expectations, of course, can be fulfilled by the person, we continue to feel empty. We want
mm,
to find something, but you don't know what to search for. In everyone, there's a continuous desire and expectation. Deep inside, you still expect something better to happen. That is why you check your email many times a day. I think it was beautiful about
mm,
this deep thirst. We are always in search of something, but
mm,
all
mm,
that we need and everything we need is inside ourselves if we are able to find it. And
mm,
love
mm,
is all about this also.
mm.
Yes, so yes, we already finished our interview for today with Sara Lilit. Very nice spiritual name she chose, but I think it's very much in tune with your personality and energy. So keep doing your good work for the goddess and for the feminine. Thank you again for answering to this invitation. And I will post this shortly in our group. And you can also post the video in other groups or platforms if you have. And yeah, take care and be happy.
Thank you very much, Irina.
And thank you all
Grazie.
for watching us today. And tune in for the next interview on 24th. We will be in the morning, but then I will add the interview online. Have a nice evening. Bye bye. Bye, Sarah.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thanks.